The Transfiguration mixes so many symbols together that it overwhelms the reader. On the mountaintop, Jesus appeared in visual glory, joined by the two great figures of the Hebrew Scriptures, Moses and Elijah. There, Peter, James, and John encountered two images of divine presence, the cloud and the thunderous voice. What does this all mean? Let's break down the scene to get some perspective. First, the disciples gathered to share prayer time with Jesus. This foreshadowed the agony in the garden. In both cases, Jesus wanted to pray with his disciples, but they didn't grasp the significance of the scene. Their lack of comprehension remained a key theme throughout Mark's Gospel. Next, we see the mountaintop, the place closest to God in the mind of the ancients, the place God revealed himself. In Exodus chapter 3, Moses encountered God on the mountain in the burning bush. There he received the name of his God, and he got his mission to free the Hebrews from slavery in Egypt. In 1 Kings chapter 19, Elijah escaped King Ahaz and ran to Mount Horeb. There he felt the presence of God, not in the wind or in the earthquake or the fire, but in a small, still voice. And he received his charge to return to face the evil king. Both Moses and Elijah hid their face when they realized they stood before God, and both were forever changed by the encounter. Third, the glory of Jesus shone through even his clothing. In other words, he revealed the face of the Father, a presence that Moses and Elijah tried to avert. Fourth, Moses and Elijah conversed with Jesus. In that conversation, both men took on symbolic significance. Moses, the lawgiver, represented the Torah. Elijah was the first and the greatest of the prophets. The men together embodied the law and the prophets, code words for the Hebrew Scriptures. When they spoke with the Lord, they symbolized how the Hebrew Scriptures foreshadowed the Messiah. The law and the prophets looked forward to the coming of the Christ. Fifth, the tents Peter proposed alluded to the festival of booths, also known as Sukkot. This festival, along with Passover and Shavuot, formed 3 festivals of pilgrimage. Jews celebrated this week-long holy time by eating special foods, reciting festive prayers, and living in booths, temporary quarters with thatched roofs. This festival recounted the wandering of the Israelites in the desert during the Exodus, in the presence of God. Peter wanted to celebrate this divine encounter in the only way that made sense to him. Sixth, the cloud and the voice from heaven mirrored the revelation of the law on Mount Sinai. When Moses received the law, the cloud surrounded him on the mountaintop, and God spoke to him in thunder. One can picture the scene as a movie filmed in Technicolor and recorded in surround sound. This drama led to the climax of the divine message, "This is my Son, listen to him." The Father identified his Son, and gave his disciples the command to hear his teachings. Finally, the scene returned to normal. Moses and Elijah were gone. The cloud and the voice disappeared. Jesus was, well, just Jesus. But the experience lingered on. The Lord told his close followers not to tell anyone what had happened until he rose from the dead. Of course, they understood the concept of resurrection at the end time. Such apocalyptic beliefs were in the cultural air at the time. But they couldn't grasp what Jesus had to do with the resurrection. That's the question they kept whispering to each other. The law and the prophets, symbolized by Moses and Elijah, point towards the coming of the Christ. As the Hebrew Scriptures, or what Christians call the Old Testament, they contain various writings of prose, poetry, history, and prophecy which anticipate the Messiah. They show us how God will save us, in his activity with his people and in his promises to those people. As followers of Jesus, we are heirs to what God did recorded in those books. We also anticipate what God will do to fulfill his saving plan. The Old Testament is a witness to Christ and interacts with our Christian scriptures, what we call the New Testament, to form an entire picture of God's will for humanity.